So we often get asked, what should I be invested in, property or shares? What do you think's best? Honestly, they're both great. I don't have a viewpoint on it. My main viewpoint is it depends on what works for you. And I've got a perfect example for you as to where more liquid investments like shares and fixed interest, bonds, the usual sort of investment mix you'd see in a superannuation fund would be better than an investment property portfolio. And it's a recent client that we've seen that's come in with 3 investment properties, total value of about $2 million. So there's 3 properties there. They're worth, for the example's sake, $600,000 to $700,000 each. They own their home outright. They've got no debt. And after all the rent and expenses are accounted for, they're netting out about $40,000 a year in income. So these guys, they're multimillionaires. They've got $2 million worth of investment property, a home worth $1.5 to $2 million. They're living off $40,000 a year, and they're complaining about not being able to go on holidays, not living a comfortable life. They're looking for help. They're proposing solutions of, if I could just get my hand on a couple $100,000, fix them up and yield a little bit more. It's like, guys, that's not going to do it. That is where potentially 100% allocation to investment properties just really doesn't work. Right? The argument that, well, it'll keep going up in value is true, and that's great, but that's not going to increase your income anymore other than the usual sort of upkick in the rent every year, which is not substantial enough to move the line. We pressed a little bit further, and what their goal really was, they're thinking, well, we've got 3 kids, all adults. They were planning on giving a property to each kid when they pass away. And I'm just thinking, but this is all you have. This is what you have to live off. You could be living a good life, and I'm sure your kids would be thinking, there's going to be some money left over there for us anyway. You've got so much and you don't spend a lot, and we're going to inherit the family home and split that up. Yeah, some really tough discussions that we've had with them. Explored the idea of even just selling one property and converting that to more liquid assets so that they can have at least a pool of liquid funds to draw down over the next 10 years or so at a more decent rate. But there's challenges there because there's obviously transactional costs, agents' fees, capital gains tax, fixing the keen to fix up the property before they sell it to try and maximise the price, which is going to be difficult. But also, it's not in superannuation, so you're not able to access those very generous tax vehicle where you could potentially convert it into pension mode, have a 0% tax rate on any capital gains or rental income. So really challenging, and a great example of where the balls to the wall investment property strategy just does not work.